time has come, we've had some fun.
It's time for the Ship's Gonna Happen podcast. Here with a load of laughs, info, and fun, it's Tony B, Dave B, and Timmy D.
Before I go alone. Don't ask me this and one more song. It ain't too costly, no, I ain't too cheap, so just relax. I'm on my knees.
Welcome to the Ship's Gonna Happen podcast, episode number 153, David B. 153. Ba-bang!
53.
You can catch us on all the platforms. David will tell you who our sponsors are. You can catch us on all the platforms. It's just purely our driven opinion based on news, and we're not, don't hold us liable to any of this stuff. It's purely for transportainment, David.
Boom.
So, David B., it is a beautiful Saturday morning in Indianapolis. Things couldn't be going better in Indianapolis. We have, obviously, we have the Fever that's going to be doing good. We have the Pacers in Game 7 of the NBA championship. The weather looks great. What do you think, man?
Who would have ever thought? Yeah, Pacers Game 7 Sunday night at 8 p.m. I'm pretty sure that's the game time or whatever. Yeah, I mean, Indy's got it going on. I can do without this 3 months of the year we call summer, but teach their own. I mean, it's just part of things. I was downtown last night. First one of the spots we hit up was the Great Divide, 743 East New York Street, downtown Indy. Great place to go after Ship's Gonna Happen week. Great place to go to kind of unwind, chat it up with the locals, get a great meal, hear some really good music, which was what we did last night. And Jen and her crew put together a really good, they do a really good job, and they take care of you. So if you're ever in the Indy area, stop by the Great Divide, 743 East New York Street. And then we can go into this topic probably a little bit later, but one of my good friends, Brian Heber, he's got his cross-dock stuff going on. It's being in cross-dock down on the southeast side of Indy or whatever. He's getting ready to move. He's currently on Arlington Avenue, but getting ready to move over to the east side off of Franklin Road. I don't have the new address yet, but yeah, he's already growing. Yeah, already growing. Just been a few months, and my dumb backside chose to not partner with him, and now I'm looking like an idiot. So, but anyway, good for Brian. If you're ever in the Indy area and you need some cross-dock work done, give Brian a call at 317-616-8386. That's B&N Cross-Dock, 317-616-8386.
And David,
how are you today?
David, doing great.
Sorry, go ahead.
No, doing great, brother. I just had a question real quick about that because it's interesting.
Sure.
You and I have been doing this a long time, and even myself in doing that, when you first started telling me about what Brian was doing, I was uncertain what that cross-dock operation really does. What does he do?
Yes. So, like, if there's drivers coming through Indy that, let's say you need your load rearranged, or let's say you need to drop off some pallets for a little bit and go deliver somewhere and then come back and get them. It's kind of what he does. It's just some cross-dock work. And he's been in this game a long time, and he knows his stuff. And he's booming, and I can't get him to get out and get a beer anymore because he's like, I don't have time, brother. So that's good.
And you had an opportunity, right?
I did.
And so now you're kind of kicking yourself a little bit.
Yeah, and I was kind of always behind him of like, you ought to start this. You ought to, I'm kind of encouraging him because that's what he does, and he's been driving a dump truck for a couple of years, which. All good, nothing wrong with doing that, and but there just wasn't the stability there, and he used to work at J&J Transportation, which is no longer in Indy, and that's what he did there. He was their cross-dock
guy. I remember
he had all those drivers' phone numbers that were just calling him all the time, even though he still wasn't working there. So now it's his time to. And he just kept getting those calls, and I'm like, dude, just open somewhere or whatever, small little 2-door cross-dock or something. And that's what he did 2 months ago. Now he's already outgrown it.
It's just a
I
great
think when
story.
people, I think just when people, hear that he's back in or whatever, they're like, hey, and I just didn't think there was that big of a demand. In my head, I'm
I
trying to
didn't
judge.
either. That's why I'm so surprised by it, David. I'm
So
like, what the heck?
that's why that's kind of why I kind of stayed away from it.
Yeah.
I mean, Brian's good, really good dude. I mean, you're not going to find anybody better than
Yeah,
Brian.
he's a hard worker too.
And yeah, and yeah, I'm happy for him. He's doing really, really well, and yeah, so he's also my oil change guy and do that stuff. So hopefully I get to see him here in a couple weeks or something. But yeah, he's hard at it and good. Good to see in this. With this economy and things the way things are going or whatever. He's kicking backside. So
that's a great story, dude.
Yeah. It's always good to hear. Good to hear.
I mean, because this guy is, you know what? He just reminds me of a guy that could lose his job tomorrow and he's going to stumble into something eventually, right? That he's kind of just a worker, just a grinder.
Mm-hmm.
That's awesome.
Yeah. So the good thing about Brian too is, as you know, and listeners who just now know or whatever, we had a big storm come through the other day, and crabapple tree just came down, and their crabapple tree's been not on the best for a few years now. It's kind of been on its last leg. And so, but where I'm going with this is I emailed or I text Brian. I go, hey man, you know if anybody that can kind of help clean this up or take care of this for us, and have them there tomorrow.
What?
$200.
Get out of here.
$200, dude.
No way.
$200. Yeah. Well, I helped. I mean,
yeah, right.
Not that big of a help, but yeah, $200.
Well, it can be hard to remove a tree, man, or a tree limb,
dude,
whatever you got.
I mean, the help that I gave, which wasn't that good. I mean, I was like, Jesus Christ.
Yeah, so we had a big storm come through Indianapolis. It was a wall, a huge wall, hundreds of miles long, and David got hit by it, and it took down your tree. Crabapple tree, and it was a nice looking tree. And wow, are you guys going to replant something there?
Yeah, we've kind of been discussing. This is kind of one of those things that were like, like a year ago, we had people look at it, Brian and his guys, they're like, yeah, we'll take care of that, and you just kind of forget about it. And we should have did it last year versus Mother Nature taking it down. But things happen. So
you never know, though.
Things happen.
Just glad it didn't hit your house, man.
Yeah, they hit one of our other smaller trees, and it's not looking too good. So we have to figure out what we're going to do with that. I hate to kind of take that one down, but
yeah, because your trees are mature in that neighborhood. They're very mature. They've been there a while. They're good shade. And which tree are you talking about? Not the one back by your picnic
there's
area.
A smaller one. There's a smaller one that was on the side yard. It's kind of new that we planted a few years ago, and it fell into that smaller tree. It's not completely devastated, but it doesn't look good. So we have to figure out what we're gonna do. So
one time I'm a big I like blueberries. Some of my favorite things to eat, and I bought these blueberries like from Michigan that were like 3 feet tall, and they're doing really well, and they're growing in the backyard. And our at the time, this is a long time ago, our old house, excuse me, backed up to a big farm, and so we had no one behind us. So it was one of the worst cold winters we had in Indiana in a long time. And Ann was like, "Hey," she goes, "Oh my God, that's so cool." And then the kids were looking out the back window, and there was a deer and 2 baby deer, right? Mama deer and 2 baby deer. And they were just like eating in our backyard. And they're like, "Oh, it's so cute." And I was like, wait a minute. They're eating my fucking blueberry plants.
That's right.
They ate them
out.
Dude, they ate them all the way down to the root, to the ground. Oh, yeah. I was like, I didn't even know an animal could do that.
Yeah. Yep. So now the yard still isn't back to normal. It looks terrible. There's still the street department needs to come by and grind up branches, and we still need to move wood to where it's supposed to go. But
Did you
looks
lose
better,
power?
but it still doesn't look bad. No,
Wow.
parts of the metropolis did, but we did not.
Huh. And that's a huge impact if you lose power there with all the business.
Yep.
God.
Yep.
We shut down a lot of stuff, dude.
Uh-huh.
Oh my God.
Yeah, definitely. For sure.
Yeah. But I'm glad you're fine, brother. I'm glad you're good, man.
Yeah. So I have another bit of good news if
Yeah.
I could share or whatever. Friends of the show, or friend of the show, Ship's Gonna Happen Hall of Famer Rich Warren has started his own little podcast thing with.
Did he?
Another Walmart driver called Don Smith. And,
Oh, cool.
the name of their, if I can go ahead and promote that.
Yeah, man, give it up.
Podcast is Driven, the number 2, and then Discuss, and yeah. So they've got a few episodes. They're just YouTube only, and they have a few videos out so far, and I think they do a good job. They do, really good job. Don Smith has 20 plus years with Walmart, and Rich has his little history there with Walmart too, and they do a really good job and have good topics. They spitball on some stuff like we do, and yeah, it's good. I think it's good. Anybody listening, you ought to go over there and give them a listen. I think they do a good job.
It's Driven, number 2.
Yes, and then Discuss.
And Discuss. Driven to Discuss.
Yeah, if maybe we could. I don't know if there's a way we could give a link or something like that. Or
I'll look it up and provide a link.
Yeah. So these guys
for sure
really
do that.
Guys.
Rich
Don
Warren's
Smith is, Don Smith's located out west. I think he said he drives in the states of Oregon and Northern California, and Rich drives out Alaska. That scenic Alaska view stuff all the time. So yeah, just go out there and give them a listen. And a few other episodes that talk about finance and all that stuff. And Rich has got his Warren Report, which is kind of little tidbit stuff about things going on. And they do a really good job.
The Warren Report, I like it.
Yeah. It's interesting. Yeah, I'm laughing because of the stuff that I've listened and the stuff on his report. Yeah, it's pretty good. It's pretty good.
Man, that's awesome.
Yeah. So I don't know if what you're hearing about. Not to change topics or whatever.
Yeah.
But in your industry, I heard somebody had mentioned to me Thursday that Central Transport's on a hiring freeze. Have you heard that? It kind of doesn't make sense. Or does it make sense?
I don't know for sure. I'm going to look it up, David, but I do know that there has been some kind of behind the scenes things happen. There was I'm trying to remember. I
have dinner with them this evening, and I'm going to bring it up, but it just seems weird that I'm like, that doesn't sound right. When I tried to look up information on it, and I couldn't find anything.
So, what I noticed like a couple weeks back was, but here's from this is legit. Layoffs continue to impact the industry as firms in California and Texas announce more than 1,048 layoffs, and Old Dominion's in the headline. Old Dominion lays off 130 workers by June 30th, and they're saying it's due to President Trump's administration. Old Dominion Job Corp lays off 130 in Amherst.
Wow. Yeah, Central Transport allegedly on a hiring freeze. And I heard this from another carrier, but I just don't know if I believe it. I mean, they're a private company anyway, so it'd probably be hard to find some public. But you think somebody would be talking about it if it was true.
Yeah, it says there is no public information indicating a hiring freeze at Central Transport. In fact, their career page states they are actively hiring and looking for people to join their team. Central
Okay.
Transport emphasized its continued growth and opportunities for challenge, growth, and rewarding career. Now, that's off of weeks before
Hmm.
information. So
Okay.
I don't know. I've not heard that. Um, I've not heard that. I'll get more company information next week on carriers, but I didn't. I didn't. I don't. I've not heard that. No, I've not. I've not heard it.
Okay.
And
Thank you for coming up on.
did
the
it come
news
from a
for me.
reliable source,
It came from another carrier, and they
like a
and
reliable
there
carrier?
was two.
You know. You know what I
I don't
mean?
think I would go that far. Yeah, I would. I don't think I would go that far.
Okay.
I would go. The carrier I heard it from has whopping 32 lanes. So
Okay.
yeah, but it was two separate people.
Oh, well, yeah.
But anyway,
I've not
yeah,
heard it. Let me
we'll
try
see.
one other thing. Let me try one.
Again, like I said, I have dinner with them tonight. I'll ask.
Oh, yeah, right.
So
It says here that layoffs in the trucking industry are surging due to decline in freight demand and other factors. Nearly 9,000 to 10,000 job cuts across the country in the trucking industry. They don't list who it is. Ports are laying off. The industry, here it is. Industry is undergoing a period of restructuring as companies adapt to the changing market conditions, and that's kind of really, I think, what it is.
okay.
That it's we're not in the COVID bullshit anymore, right? And the pre-COVID we were all dying, and then COVID happened, and then it restructured, and then now we're in a new we're in reality now. You know what I mean? It's like we don't we're not
The
in
new
lockdown
normal,
anymore.
I
Yeah,
guess,
this is exactly. This is the new normal, and the technology's changing shit, and it's obvious you don't need as many people as you once did. And in trucking industry specifically, it was one of the last industries to really incorporate technology. And I just think this technology is going to, my company too. I just don't think you're going to need to hire as many people in the future. I mean,
Are your guys' numbers up or good or
we're
the
like up
same,
and
or-
down. This economy's like a roller coaster, David. I mean, it's you get some good numbers in February, a couple weeks, and then it goes to shit. And then you get some good numbers in March for a couple weeks, and it goes to shit. And then you get a couple good weeks in April, and then it goes to shit. You know what I mean? And then it's like, it's just not. It's not stable. I don't think it's not stably bad, and it's not stably good. It's just kind of it's good and bad. It's just I think everybody's. I mean, it feels to me like the whole business world's on a freaking roller coaster right now because there's just some weird shit going on,
Yes. Yeah.
So
I would agree with that. Would agree with that. We brought our first load in from Mexico in probably 3 months yesterday.
That's what I mean, like stuff like that, right?
Yeah. And then the carrier doing the load commented, they're like, "Well, this is cheaper than it was last time. The tariffs must have lowered." I go, "No, that's not what happened. What they did is this is an American-owned company that has a facility in Mexico, and they got them to drop their price of what we were paying by 8% to come over. That's the difference." So, anyway, so the tariff is still there. It clearly says it's a 50% tariff, but the manufacturer dropped the cost of the raw materials by 8%.
Yeah. Yeah.
Anyway,
I just wish. I think the economy would be doing better actually if on the front end it was set up to counter the tariffs, right? With manufacturing, and we just didn't have that set up, and that's really. I don't blame that on the administration. I mean, it was already cooked in the books, right? So, you know what? It is what it is, and you and I have been doing this a long damn time, and you know what? I got a funny feeling you're gonna survive it, and I got a funny feeling I'm gonna survive it.
Mm-hmm.
So,
Yeah. Yeah. Give me 11 more years. I don't care. Or
exactly.
if things are still around in 11 years, I would hope. Yeah.
Yeah, but
Yeah.
you bring up. Go ahead, David. I'm sorry.
No, I was agreeing. Yeah, just not sure how things are gonna be. I mean, like you said, it still should be fine, but you just never know. I mean, I don't know.
Well, you got some things. You know, the elephant in the room is you got. It looks like our country has successfully created a three-prong war. You know, you got Russia tied up with Ukraine, you got Iran tied up with Israel, you got China tied up with an economic war from us, right, and tariffs.
Mm-hmm.
And so
Mm-hmm.
there's some uncertainty, right? So, and that plays into the economics. So, um,
Yeah.
hopefully that sorts itself out and and taxes and things like that. I mean, there's a bill, right? And people, I think that's some of it too, is these bills they've got that they haven't passed yet, where you know there's all these taxes involved for companies and things, and so that I think limits a little bit of spending because you don't know what you don't know.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah.
and if you owned a
Yeah.
company and I owned a company, we'd probably be a little hesitant to do some things.
Yeah.
So
Yeah. If I owned a company, I'd go ahead.
no,
Sorry.
go ahead, David.
I was going to say, if I owned a company, I'd be like, someone explain to me how healthcare is tied into employment. But then, well, anyway.
Yeah, I mean that's the other thing is if companies didn't have to pay that, you know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
Jesus.
Mm-hmm.
So talking about the overall industry, David. Here's I got Yahoo Finance pulled up, and today's date is June 21st, 2025. It is 9:47 a.m. and it shows Old Dominion year to date down 11%. XPO 8 night down 20%. Saya down. Wait a minute. Is that right? 43%.
Down a bunch, aren't they?
43.
What is that?
43%.
Yeah, that sounds right. I mean, didn't we talk a year ago where that stock seemed overvalued?
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Yeah. Schneider's down. Warner's down. Arc Best is down.
I was reading an article where Knight Swift is the biggest trucking company in the United States.
What? Trucking
That's
company?
Yeah. I mean, I'm assuming that has to do with truckload and LTL.
Yeah, because they own. Yeah. I'm gonna look it up.
Blake Cooper.
Let's see what it says here. Well, I'm not looking it up the right way. It says UPS is. It says UPS is the largest trucking company in America, worth $91 billion.
Actually heard from a T-Force rep for the first time. I don't know how long. A couple weeks ago. I don't know why I answered my phone, but I answered it, and it was T-Force. I'm like, I just laughed. I go, don't even bother.
That's funny.
And the dude still came by anyway.
Let's see here. Yeah, I was looking at more of the stocks here. Yeah, it's pretty ugly, man. Wow.
Mm-hmm.
I haven't looked at it in a couple weeks. This is absolutely ugly. Wow. Holy shit. Huh?
Say the value is way down.
Oh my God. It's David, I don't know if I've ever seen it down this bad. I mean, you got everybody down. Old Dominion's down 12%. I don't think I've ever seen that. I mean, XPO's down 89%. 43% you're down at Saya. That's massive. You're down by half.
I mean, it sounds right.
Wow. Oh wow. But anyway, I mean, I know it's bad, but I didn't realize. Geez, I try to just stay in my own world and click. And I'm glad I looked at that. Glad you brought it up because It'll be interesting to see what we do. Our internal news when they put it out on Monday. Usually, it'll be interesting to see what that says.
Yeah. And you guys are private, though. You don't have to publicly share your stuff, do you?
No, we don't, but they'll tell you, and I can tell you, we are. I think we were barely up, and I think us and Saya were up on tonnage, or not tonnage, maybe bill count. I can't remember. Don't hold me to that, but that wasn't by much, David. And some of that can be tweaked with 3PLs to turn lanes on. It's not. That's what carriers will typically do. If they're down, they'll look to the 3PL source, to the big ones, and they'll be like, "Hey, we'll turn on our lanes in California for you, and we'll reduce it by, you know what I mean?" And then, bam, those lanes are filled. But
looking at numbers on our end, we're down about $9 million from this time last year. So
wow,
yeah. Yep.
What has the employment level been like at your place?
The same. It's the same.
Not adding anyone, but just replacing people that leave?
No. I can't think of anybody that's left anytime recently. About a year ago, they did make a one job cut, and they said it was due to budget reasons. And I'm like, how in the hell is one job a budget cut? So, but I'm like, just let me keep mine, and I don't care. Not just trying to say I don't care, but just keep me employed. It's the only thing I need.
What about pay raises and stuff like that?
Well, we got one, and we didn't get a bonus, but we got a pay raise. So, and we bought out a company earlier this year. So
yeah, I remember you told me that.
The rumor is they're looking to buy somebody in Iowa, but we'll see. I don't know if that's 100% true, because I'm the last to know everything. So.
You're not in the board meeting.
Right. Yes. And no time they're saying, bring Dave B in.
Call Dave and see if he agrees with this.
Get him in here now. So, yeah.
Let's make sure this fits into David's workflow. David, if we buy a company.
Yeah, go right ahead.
Buy them all.
Yeah.
Buy them all. Buy one in Florida and send me to Florida or Hawaii. Buy that company in Hawaii.
Yes.
I'll go check it out.
Or Minnesota or Maine, where it's cooler.
Oh yeah, you'd want to go to like Alaska. Send me to Alaska and buy that company in Alaska.
Go hang out with Rich.
Yeah, you and Rich will be in the tractor, dude. That'd be hilarious.
There you go.
Doing a live remote.
We could do, yeah. Rich always likes it when I talk about my Uber drivers. So I did have Wednesday of this week. I think it was Wednesday. I had one of the varsity basketball coach from one of the high schools in Indy, and we had an excellent conversation. Just talking hoops and the goods and the bads with players and stuff today. So it was really interesting conversation. So
yeah,
I enjoy that. I had to ask. I already know the answer, but I'm assuming that the worst part of being a coach at any level is the parents. He goes, "Yep, the absolute worst part."
Yeah,
it's the parents.
Parents can ruin it all. They can ruin a kid's career.
Yep, they can act more juvenile than the kids.
Man, I got to tell you this. What I've been doing lately is there's a app called the Marquee app.
Okay.
And I have been watching a ton of Cubs games at night.
Okay.
And
they're doing really well.
They are. They're doing well right now. Their pitching's not that great. They're the middle of the road type pitching, but everything else they're ranked pretty high in the league. I think they're number 1, 2, or 3 in every category except pitching. So they should have a pretty decent year. Yeah, it's been fun watching it. Yeah, and and it's been fun watching the Pacers. I didn't
game.
Go ahead, Dave.
So I was gonna say Game 7 tomorrow night.
Yeah, Game 7 tomorrow night. That's exciting.
I wouldn't even imagine that this is where they would be.
Well,
this one or
you being a lifelong Indiana guy, that's got to be exciting for people that grew up here. To
It's exciting, but it also is kind of like I'm. If I wake up Sunday night when I could go into work and I see that they lose, I'd be like, yeah, that's about right. You
yeah.
know, I'm not trying to. I want them to do well, but you're just so used to like, yeah, that's about what would happen. So, but I don't know. I hope they do win though.
Yeah, it would be huge. It would be, um, to me, it would be. I'd like to see it just for the organization because I think
Mm-hmm.
I didn't grow up here, but I've always thought, and I was a Bulls fan, grew up in Chicago, but always had respect for the Pacers and
Yeah.
the history of the organization and
Yes.
being an ABA team and
Yeah.
being dominated the ABA, right? And
Yes.
never got their NBA due, in my opinion, and
Yeah.
and
Yeah.
and
No, I agree.
should get it before a lot of others, in my opinion. So
Yeah. And the Fever are doing okay. They play again today. I think it's today against tomorrow, actually,
yeah,
against Las Vegas. So they play at Las Vegas tomorrow.
I got to make a
So,
comment too about it real quick.
go ahead.
I'm sick of this Caitlin Clark bullshit, dude. Like like I
You,
went, huh?
you, you mean her getting tackled on the floor and nothing happened to nobody? Is
Well,
that what you mean?
well, yeah, yeah, but I mean, yeah, but I guess I got a weird different angle on it. I'm tired of the media and people complaining about it. It's like
Hmm.
finally a player steps up and does something, right?
Yeah.
So that's my thing is like, why is it? That's why it's happening. It's happening because
Yeah.
Caitlin's not doing anything back, and then it's happening also because their players aren't doing shit. So
I gotcha.
so
Hmm.
my thing is, I'm sick of fucking hearing about it. So
I gotcha.
until one of them girls pulls somebody down on the ground or does some shit like that, I'm done. I don't want to hear about it because you know what? I saw
Hmm.
Michael Jordan get thrown to the ground by Dennis
Oh
Rodman,
yeah.
Bill Laimbeer.
Yeah.
I saw Larry Bird
Yeah.
get thrown to the ground. I saw, I mean, the way they played NBA in the 80s and 90s, these guys today couldn't survive. They'd get the shit beat out of them.
Hmm.
So I just don't have sympathy for it. It's like, is it racist? You know what I mean? It's like they're trying to spin it
Hmm.
into a racial thing. What was it racist when Jordan
Right.
got thrown on the ground? Was it racist
Right.
when all those players had to got the shit beat out of them in their first couple of years? You know,
Yeah.
Dominic Wilkins did, right?
Hmm.
Dr. J did. Um,
Kevin McHale. I mean, yeah,
yeah,
whoever.
yeah.
Yep.
Kevin McHale, he's lucky
Yep.
his body survived it all.
Yep.
Um,
Yep.
So I mean, I just don't. I'm just sick of the media spinning it into some bullshit. It's not, and
Right.
and it's just get up off the ground, Caitlin, and do something. Smack the bitch back. Do something.
Right.
I mean, quit being a little fucking weasel and crying about it and running away and sulking. I mean, it's just ridiculous. I don't know. Sorry about
Right.
that.
Yeah. No, it's all good. It's all good.
Am I
That's you.
wrong?
Yeah. Nope. 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 Definitely not. Definitely not. Yeah. It's yeah. Right. Yeah. Be your own enforcer. I mean, to your point.
Yeah, I
Be your
mean,
own
if you're not a
enforcer.
fighter, I get it, right? I mean,
Mm-hmm.
I get it. It's not like Jordan was a big fighter, but he didn't have a problem. You fucking bump into him in there. He's gonna bump up on you. You're gonna do some shit talking is gonna happen, right?
Remember when him and Reggie got into it?
Yeah,
That was, ooh, yeah.
yeah. Did he grab
Yeah.
Reggie by the throat? Who
Mm,
did Jordan grab by the
I
throat?
think he kind of, yeah, something like that. Got him, then kind of scratched up his face a little bit or something. Yeah.
Yeah, and Reggie didn't back
Yeah.
down. He didn't give a shit,
No.
right? I mean,
No.
you got to be like
No.
that.
That's right. Yeah. If you're gonna talk the talk or whatever, you got to walk the walk.
Yeah, if you got to get suspended for 3 games, get suspended, Caitlin. I have more respect for you. I mean, I'm not
Hmm.
telling you to knock somebody out, but quit taking the shit. Quit fucking taking it.
Yeah. Yeah.
I mean, that's why Bird became one of the biggest shit talkers in NBA history, right?
Yeah. He backed it up.
Yeah, and backed it up. But they're doing great.
Yeah.
Hopefully, they. You know what would be amazing is if the Pacers won the NBA championship and the Fever won the WNBA.
Yeah. So they are playing for the Commissioner's Cup Championship, WNBA, on July the 1st against the Minnesota Lynx. So kind of that in-season tournament thing that they do. So yeah, the Fever against the Lynx on July the 1st. So I mean, it's almost July the 4th. Goodness gracious.
David, it's in
June
2
is just
weeks. It's my
cooking
favorite week
by.
of the year.
Yep, definitely.
God,
This year it's on a Friday, which it should always be on a Friday. That's just my opinion. It doesn't have to
David,
have an observed holiday,
yeah,
just for the weekend purposes.
I know. David, it's going to be so hot today. It's going to be smoking hot.
It already is. Yeah. I've got to go out here and do some stuff in the yard before it gets unbearable.
Oh, yeah. About 10:30, 11 o'clock is going to be smoking.
Yep, for sure.
But, so we covered the trucking industry's kind of up and down right now. Sports world is doing good. What else is it? Brian Huber's doing good. Man, that's just great.
I mean, it kind of sounds like everybody that I know in the industry is doing fairly well, and I hear there's a couple job openings in the area. I hear. I mean, I know numbers are where they're at, but I mean, I don't think anybody's pushing any panic buttons or whatever.
Yeah.
Guys I meet with on Fridays, they're doing well. I popped by their office yesterday, and they were all head down and go. So, I know we kind of talk like things are a little uncertain, but everybody I can think of is doing okay.
Man, that's good.
To see who these two people job openings, though I don't use either of those carriers, but
who is it? I didn't even know about it.
Standard Forwarding, and I heard AAA Cooper was also looking for somebody.
Oh, I wouldn't even know who the rep was.
Yeah, no idea.
Huh?
No idea. I did have mentioned this earlier. I don't think you heard me. I did have a T-Force rep call on me.
Oh yeah,
2 weeks ago, and I told him, I just laughed. I go, "Don't even bother, dude." He goes, "Well, I'll come by and put a name to the face." I go, "Dude, don't bother." And he came by anyway, and I wasn't there. I mean, he came by later in the day, and I'm like, "Dude, I told you not to come by."
Yeah.
So why would I give any business to T-Force?
T-Force. Yep, I know. Struggling, man.
Yep.
They've lost quite a bit of business. I mean, remember UPS Freight used to be like the 6th largest, right? 5th largest, and now they're way down there.
Yep. Remember when it was overnight transportation?
Oh my God!
Way back in the day.
Did you use them?
Back in the day, yeah.
Were they good?
Paul Reed was. They did okay. Paul Reed was my rep way back then. He's a good guy.
Yep.
He's super nice. Then it was Susan McCarty for a little minute.
Oh yeah, I remember that name.
Then Chris O'Cray.
Don't know that.
Yeah. So, but anyway, yeah. Overnight, we had lunch, standing lunch every Monday. At a Mexican restaurant here in town. I didn't drink then, and every bit of a hour and a half lunch, just shooting the poo every Monday. So,
wow.
That's why I was always kind of came up with the thought that what we do for a living, I'll be boring. I mean, we ought to be. I always would say we ought to be recording this, just because it was just random BS talk,
Yeah.
kind of like what you and I do or whatever. So.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah, I know.
That doesn't happen no more. So.
No. Not as much. No.
Right.
And you and I were talking about it forever before we did it.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, for sure.
But yeah,
sure.
So what's your plans this weekend?
I'm cleaning up the yard. dinner with Central Transport this evening. I'm looking forward to that. Matt and I always have good conversations. That's about it. Really get groceries. You?
Just I've got some yard trimming stuff to do. I'll probably wait till the evening to do that, or I'll do it when we get off. And then we're just gearing up for Shelb's wedding, you know. So
when is that again?
well, it won't be till next year, but it just seems like there's a lot of pre-work, which I'm not involved. So I'll have to find something to do. But I might just get in the pool, I guess. I don't know. Clean up some stuff. Get the show out.
Yeah.
Yeah. Relax. This might be one of the first relaxing weekends I've had in a while. 'Cause it seems like I've been pretty busy.
I would like to get Rich and Don on.
Let's do it, man.
Separate lines or something. Yeah.
Let's do it.
I'll work on that.
Rich
and
Warren's
Brian
awesome.
Also.
Yeah, Brian Huber. Yeah, I was going to ask you that earlier. We get him on the show. Get him on. We can do, and we get him on the phone too.
Yeah, I can come in and then we can get him on the phone.
Yeah,
I'd be more than happy to come over.
However you guys want to do it.
Yeah, we'll figure it out.
Oh crap! I haven't looked at that. There we go. Yeah, we're about 50 in.
Okay. All right.
You ready, man?
Yeah, you want to call it?
Yeah. Let's get our weekend on. Dave,
yeah.
Appreciate you, man.
Appreciate everybody listening. Follow that Driven to Discuss. They're two really good Walmart drivers, and thanks everybody for listening.
All right, David. Have a good weekend.
Take care. Yep.
Bye.
See ya.